Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Why Not Cook. You saw that title. Today we're going to be making loaded baked potatoes. Now let's get into it. Alright, so to start your potatoes, the first thing you want to do is get yourself a few big, nice sized potatoes and wash them. I have already washed these potatoes, scrubbed the skins. I literally scrubbed the skins. So I washed the potatoes already. So what I'm going to do now is just coat them in some oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever oil you want. I am actually going to be using canola oil. So what I'm going to do is just coat them liberally with some oil. I'm just going to rub it in on all sides. Right, so you're literally just going to rub the potatoes with oil and every side, right, the whole potato. And then what you're going to do is get a fork and poke some holes in there. Right, so they are nicely covered with oil. So now I have a fork here and I'm just going to poke some holes in them. You can use a knife also. Actually, a paring knife probably would have been better, but I'm going to just stab them and poke some holes. This will make sure it doesn't burst, and that will also help to let out some of that steam as it's cooking. And you can do both sides. Just stab some holes in the potato. Anyway, no particular method. Just stab it a couple of times, maybe like 3 times on each side, right? And then you can actually bake them like this, or you can cover them. So I'm going to actually cover them, but first let me quickly wash my hands. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take some foil and cover each potato. So I'm just going to show you here. I'm going to take one at a time and wrap them in foil. I have foil sheets, but you can use regular aluminum foil, it's just fine. And I'm just going to be wrapping them like this, each one. Two. Move them over here. Third one. And the last one. All right. So what you're going to do is take all your potatoes, put them on a baking sheet like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to pop this in a 400-degree oven for at least 50 minutes, and then we will be back. Okay, so these are some of the ingredients that we're going to be using in our stuffed potatoes today. So first things first, we're going to have some bacon, broccoli, some sharp cheese. Actually, I mixed it. It's sharp and Gouda cheese, sour cream, of course, some chives over here. Whoops. Chives over there, and some butter, of course. So first things first, let's go ahead and steam our broccoli, and then we're going to get into making this bacon. All right, so we're just going to start with our crown of broccoli. What I'm going to do actually is turn it to the other side because it makes it easier to cut. And I'm just going to start cutting each section loose to separate them. And note, we are steaming the broccoli until we see that nice bright green color. We are not boiling the broccoli, just steaming it to achieve that nice color, which will only take a couple of minutes. This is not like a long cooking process at all. All right, so now that I've got these cut up pretty much, we're just going to add them directly into our pot of some water. So over here, let's mosey on over here, and here we have a pot of water that's heating up. This is about a half a cup of water. It's just to steam. So I'm going to go ahead and put our broccoli in here. I can cut this one in half. There we go. I'm just going to add a sprinkle of some salt. And we're going to let this go for just a couple of minutes and we'll be back. Okay everybody, so I figured why not go ahead and get our bacon cooking while we're steaming this broccoli, because the bacon obviously is going to take longer than to steam this broccoli. So we're going to go ahead and get our bacon in the pot. I have the pot heating up now, and I'm going to go ahead and start placing our bacon in the pot. So just a couple of strips of bacon that I cut in half. So let's get these going. And you want these nice and crispy. Some people like their bacon a little soft, but I think for the purposes of making a loaded potato, you don't really want soft bacon. You really want nice crispy bacon. So we're going to actually cook these until they are nice and crisp. Alright, so that part is going. Alright, so we have all our bacon in the pot. So we're going to go ahead and let this crisp up on one side and give it a flip to the other side. And we'll be back to check on our broccoli shortly. Okay everybody, our broccoli has now reached that nice and bright green color that I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do now is get these out of the pan and put them in a bowl here. I have a bowl here. Oops. Here we have it. Let me just move this over here so I can show you. I have a bowl of cold water. It is very cold. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the broccoli out and get it in this bowl of cold water to stop the cooking process. What you can also do is add ice to the water, which I may very well do, just to stop them from cooking any further. I don't want them to be soggy. I achieved the nice bright green color that we're going for and that we want on our broccoli, which is just lightly steamed broccoli. For your baked potatoes, you don't want them to be soggy and overdone. So let's put them in a bowl here. So here we have our broccoli now in some cold water, and I'm probably going to, let me just go ahead and add a couple of ice cubes to help that continue to cool down while our bacon is still cooking. Okay, our bacon is cooking nicely. I'm just going to go ahead and give them a turn. You really want them nice and crispy. So we're going to let these go on this side until they are nice and crispy as well, and then we will get them out and we will move on to the next step. Okay, once your bacon is done, you want to just put it on a sheet of paper towel just to get rid of this excess oil. Now what we want to do is cut our bacon up into a few strips. Not few strips, fine pieces. I'm sorry. So let's do that. Let's get it off of the paper towel. And we're going to go ahead and just cut this up into pieces. So we want to make our topping for our potatoes. So you want to get them into nice, finely cut, almost like minced pieces. So we have our bacon here all ready to go, chopped up fine, and we're just waiting for those potatoes to be done. So at this point, what we also want to do is get rid of this water in this broccoli. So I'm going to pour this excess water off, all of the water off, and let these continue to sit on the sidelines until the potatoes are ready. You want them to actually dry out and get rid of the water. So we want to go ahead and get rid of this water and dump this off way ahead of time. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so our potatoes have been baking for a total of an hour. So now I'm going to go ahead and open them. They are very hot. So what I'm going to do is just take a fork and just puncture it. Or you can even use your paring knife just to make sure that they are cooked all the way through, and they are. So at this point, I'm just going to cut it open. Right? Ooh, it's still hot. Right, so we're going to cut them open. And now comes the fun part. You can stuff them with whatever you like. So, of course, we're going to start out with butter. Everything is better with butter. That's what they say. So let's get some butter in there. In both. Right, let's get a slice of butter. And for this one, what you want to do to make room for your stuffing is go ahead and carve out some of this. We're not doing twice baked where you take out a lot of the stuffing and mix it separately. I'm not doing that. I just want to just take out just a little bit. Not really take it out, but kind of like mash it up a little bit. Just to give us some space in there. You see, now you got some space to work with. You see our butter is pretty much gone already. It has melted nicely. So what I'm going to do at this point is add some cheese to this one. So I have some shredded. This is sharp and Gouda. It's actually mixed. So I'm going to add some cheese. And then I'm going to add some of our broccoli that we steamed earlier. So here, put some broccoli in this one. We're going to load it up. Hence the name, loaded. So this one I'm just going to do pretty simple. This one's just going to be broccoli and cheese. Right? Ooh, it's too hot. And of course, more cheese to top it off with. All right. So here's our first one. And you can sprinkle some pepper, salt on it if you wish, but to me, the cheese has enough salt. So I'm just going to go with that. And what you can do is use the heat from the oven, since it's already hot, to go ahead and melt that cheese in that potato, right? Which I'm going to do. But let me show you what I'm going to do for the second one. Again, I'm just going to scoop it down a little bit. Just turn the plate a little bit so you can see better. Scoop it down a bit. And this one we're really going to kind of try to load a little bit more. So again, I just want to break it up a little bit. We already added some butter. Feel free to add as much as you like. This is your potato after all. I should have added salt on the first one, but I kind of forgot. So I'm just going to add a sprinkle of salt here. Right? And some black pepper. Then I'm going to go in with some cheese. So you can go ahead and start melting from the heat of that potato. Then I'm going to add some bacon. And again, you can take it completely out the foil, obviously, but they're still pretty hot. So I'm just going to continue working with it like this. Bacon! Yay! Get the bacon in the party. And I also want to add some sour cream to this one. So now we're going to add some sour cream. Alrighty, so I'm going to add some sour cream to this one. And of course, let's go ahead and just move that around in there. I also want to add some broccoli on this one as well, probably. Or a little bit of chives. Actually, maybe I won't. Let's just do chives. So we have chives over here. So let's sprinkle some chives on there. So one is with broccoli and cheese. and a little bit of butter only. And this one has bacon, cheese, and chives. And again, you can load them, you know, as you wish, with whatever ingredients you wish. But this is, in essence, how you would make the loaded potatoes. What I'm going to do now is just sit it back in the oven, this one anyway, for the broccoli and the cheese, so the cheese can melt more on top. And then we'll be ready to enjoy. So here we have our finished product. The first one is stuffed with broccoli, cheddar, and Gouda cheese. And our next one is stuffed with bacon, chives, cheese, and sour cream. So here we have it. What do you think? Now that was my take on making a loaded baked potato. Keep in mind, baked potatoes are very versatile. They go with pretty much anything. If you don't like an ingredient, don't add it. If you have an ingredient that you absolutely love, pile it on. You can add different types of meat. I've seen those as well. Different types of cheese, veggies. I've seen them with shrimp, chicken, whatever you want to add. It's your potato. Load it up as much as you want. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and will give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.